You are watching Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
Six months have come and gone. We're already through half of the year 2020. But you and I know that it hasn't been just a good year, as we know that the sports fraternity has been hugely heated by the COVID-19. That one thing you and I are sure about. Now, this is the Temidlalo live show evening on Monday, the 1st of June. The year is 2020. Hello and welcome. What a year it's been. And we look at also some of the things that are expected to return. But before we get into that, we'll have one of our biggest, I would say, sports instructor or fitness instructor in the kingdom. He is one of the guru instructor, one can say, is that has actually, gone so far to achieve a lot and yet to achieve a lot. That is Zama Potrat, who is already in the studio. And later on, Mr. Linda Dlamini, our in-house analyst master, is going to come and also touch on different aspects. What does it mean to be a fitness instructor? All those details. We'll also touch on some of the things that are being mentioned to the return of the MTN Premier League, the return of the athletes, some that are based in the Republic of South Africa. You mentioned, the likes of Nobuhle, as, all different countries have started to ease their lockdown, restriction. All that will also take our international look to see what's happening internationally. And of course, one of the things that are making headlines currently is the issue of racism, where also players, football players, basketball players, all type of, international players have taken a course, of course, to try to fight against that racism. Forbes have released the latest, richest athletes in the world. Of course, you find out why Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi are not on the top of the list. I mean, by number one. I'm already in the company of Zama Potrat. This is the business guru we're talking about. And I think when you see her on the screen, one would say her dress code. How is the dress code relevant to her being, a sports instructor and anything? But we'll get to that. Welcome you for this program, Zama. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Fabrice. Thank you for that lovely intro.
All right. Thank you very much. And we didn't talk about the dress code before we came in here. The red just came in. We didn't know how it happened. Now, let's talk about Zama. Who is Zama Potrat? And people are wondering, when you talk about a business, not a business, a sport instructor, when you talk about someone who's been in the industry for quite some time, I think maybe if people are based in Manzini, they relate, would see Umban Zama. Let's call him a fitness instructor. Who is the person?
Okay, so I am the owner and the coach for Studio Z, which is a women's only gym.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that Studio Z has formally been up and running for 3 years with a growing membership each and every day. We've been coming slowly. I'd say there's about 20 members that we have that are steady. Basically, I would say we are more than just a gym. I always tell people, with a gym, we are a sisterhood. So maybe that's why we're going to lead up to this dress code. What we've been trying to do is build a society where women can work together. So women empowerment, that's what we're all about, but working through fitness. So driving the fitness, knowing what through fitness you can achieve anything, and we can do it together as Bafat.
As Bafat, the last word then you mentioned is Siswati. I think they were starting to wonder, does she speak Siswati? Yes, she does, and I think she will try a lot to also highlight some of the things. Now, I think we'll also, people maybe are starting to wonder, maybe let's get into the juicy stuff. We also use the pictures to talk about, when you talk about a fitness instructor, what do we mean? And it's not most cases when you have a woman instructor. And I think we're used to have men instructors, and one would say, studio instructor, you have a gym that is a sort of like a studio. It's something that you are doing full time, that you've given time. You're telling yourself, this is what I want to do. What empowers you? What gives you that empowerment to say, this is what I want to do? And why, in most cases, you are found empowering women?
Okay, so I always say to people, for me, fitness was my savior in a lot of things. Okay, so when tough times came, when I was going through a lot of, what most women deal with, you find yourself, you're young, you get married, you have pressures, you have children, you have to do this, you have to do that. It was a lot for me. And I needed an outlet, but a healthy outlet. I needed an environment whereby I am supported. When I leave here, I am a better person. I found that through fitness. It became a habit. It became my lifestyle. That's why I always say, guys, you have to understand when you walk through that door, why are you here?
Wow, that's you in the pictures, Zam. I think maybe they are now, seeing you in a different outfit to say, this is you now exercising. Tell us, when you're in your studio, the most maybe part that where you need people to understand the meaning of fitness. Some of the exercise that you maybe take people through when they visit your gym and when they are together with you, when you're exercising. Some of the exercise you take them through. And maybe what are you working on there?
So right now I was working on my core, which I always say you need a strong core for every type of sport that you do, because it's the basis of every sport that you need to do. That's where you get your balance. That's where you get your strength from. So I focus on strength training. Okay, so that's my speciality. That's what I do at the studio. That's what I focus on. As well as high intensity interval training. There you can see I'm doing a mountain climber. And I definitely push myself and I push my clients to reach that point of failure, because I feel like if you're not failing, you're not training hard enough.
All right. All right. You have to sort it out. Now, as of course, we keep on watching some of the pictures live there to see what's empowering you also to do that. Now, I know with this whole COVID, I think we're still looking at the pictures. With this whole COVID, of course, one would want to say you do this full time. It's now has left. It is two phases. There is you being motivated, the passion that you have for this industry, and there's also the passion you have for the sport, and there's also the aspect to say it's a sort of a business for you now. To say you do it also for living. So let's say, how much have you been affected? The pros and cons. When you look at maybe since the arrival of COVID, people can't really attend your gym, and maybe you have a way you communicating with them. In terms of
okay, so when COVID came and lockdown happened, everybody thought, myself included, it's going to be 1 month. And then it became longer and longer. So yes, for me, it was like, how do I get my clients to stay motivated? How do I get people to stay with the program? Wake up in the morning. You may not be coming to the studio, but set your time. So what I did for the ladies, I set up a WhatsApp group whereby we can just stay in communication. I send them workouts every day. I send them demos every day. But obviously not everyone can work like that. I know it's been very tough. If you want to see more disciplined yourself, so it's
discipline. What type of discipline are you talking about? Because I think someone who's watching now want to know the most relevant things that will keep you disciplined. When you say not discipline, what do you mean at that part?
Okay, so for me, discipline is you're going to do it. You're going to get the workout in no matter what. So motivation is great. That's what's going to get you started. But you need discipline to be able to do it every day. I don't always feel like training, but trust you me, I will get it done. Some days I'm pushing, doing whatever I'm doing. I don't get enough time in that day. I know, Sasa, I need to double it up.
The pictures, we're watching right now, I think these were shot during this time of COVID. We're not exposing you to say you are dreaming during the time where a government have closed, but you are alone, so I think it's not that much of a problem. I think it's you're also sending a message to people. This is one of the ultimate, the guidelines they can follow if they want to gym at home. How does it work, and how do you think it's helping them out there? Because some of them, they need motivation to be in a group of people, but then when you're alone, it's tough. So how do you come out of that situation to say you are in the house alone, you wake up, you set out the alarm, you put on TV if there's a music in the background, trying to deal with the fitness guide and the whole diet issue? Okay,
so for me, I always say have a plan. Literally write down, this is my plan. How am I going to tackle this? That's what I did for my clients. So for one, have a set time. You decide if you utochima exen, say 7 o'clock, because a lot of people don't need to rush. Stick to 7. set your alarm. Don't be like, ndawujima sengivukile anytime. That does not work, because 90% of the time, I go gym. If it's in the evening, train in the evening. So have a program. Monday, what are we doing? We're doing legs. So shima, legs.
How much important are legs? Because people talk about unity to your legs.
Well, for me, very important. I'm also a bodybuilder, and my category, wellness, we focus a lot on the legs. So I train my legs 3 times a week. Legs is a big muscle group, the biggest in your body. So if we focus a lot of leg workout overall, it's definitely going to follow. So,
and this works for both gender, male and female. The message you are sending.
Please, males, you have to train your legs. I know a lot of male focus on the upper body, which is fantastic, but nobody wants to get that. Come on, guys. We want you to have a proper shape.
They are listening.
Legs.
Those are the legs you're doing. All right. Now we keep on having conversation while watching the pictures. Maybe we're gonna move maybe on another topic where maybe we can also touch on the it's relevant to what you're wearing, because maybe it also signifies why you need a Eswatini to be behind you on this specific topic. There is a journey that we've started. Tell us about the journey, Mrs. Africa journey. Tell us about the journey and how far it's going. And I think I would say in this specific part, maybe just emphasize, I think the country, we need your support. I think this is one of the biggest journey anyone can go through in terms of representing the country. Where are you currently? Okay,
so Mrs. Africa journey is definitely by far the biggest challenge I've ever taken up. Okay, this is why it took a while for me. I knew about Mrs. Africa about 3 years ago, but I felt like I needed to grow myself. I needed to grow my brand. I needed to work my passion first. Okay, so what is my passion? My passion is women empowerment projects. I have been working as well with the Women in Law Society of Southern Africa, whereby through the 1 Billion Rising revolution, we've been going out and educating women on their rights. We've had shows whereby it was all about the girl child. I've worked with choreography with them. So coming back to my belief, I felt, okay, this is a platform that I can continue to stand out there. To reach out to people and say, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to be this ambassador.
All right.
Now I need the country to support me to be able to get Eswatini on the map.
All right. Now we're going to get to the support properly. So now I think earlier on you had a chat when you're explaining to say, when you talk about Miss and Mrs. Africa, people always think about the beauty and representing, but there's a lot of things you can represent. So in this category, you went as someone who is trying to empower women in different aspects, and then being there at the international stage. I think we'll bring back that code, maybe where Eswatini can see and maybe follow, and maybe also try to support you. Being at the international stage with all these international representatives, and you coming from Eswatini and everything, how is the experience, and what does it mean to you when you are there, knowing Eswatini? What does it mean?
Okay, so Mrs. Africa pageant is all about bringing dignity to society. They're all about charity work. That's one thing that made me interested. So the whole beauty, it's about inner beauty. It is, what can you give back to your community? So standing up against those women and know, I am representing my country. I'm Swati. And I'm a Mrs. So I'm not a Miss because I have different titles. I'm a Mrs. I am proud to say I am ready. I am there to bring back more than just what I take. What I'm going to take is definitely the experience. I'm going to see other places and understand. Look, in Swaziland, we have so much to offer. I want to bring people to understand. Tourism, there's a lot of beautiful places in Swaziland. Another thing that we've been doing through this, we've been doing my hikes, whereby we're exploring Eswatini. I didn't even know there's so many beautiful places, Lana, and I'm discovering these places as we're doing these hikes, and with that money we're putting into the foundation, the Mrs. Africa foundation. So that's something that I've started even before the lockdown, and we will continue. All
right, let's talk about now. You are into the finalist. You're a finalist. One would say a finalist. So when are the finals, and yeah, do you need any preparations currently, personally, on your side? Well, what's happening? When are the finals? And, I know there's a lot of countries currently involved, a lot of representatives. But yeah, which stage are we at now? Because I know COVID has stopped most of the things, but Sigupinyalo.
Okay, Kwanyalo, we're still on early stages. To just go back, my representatives, there's 3 of us from Swaziland. We have Nomvula and we have Zinhle, who have different titles as well. So Nabo, they are coming from Eswatini. We will be moving forward with them. We have deadlines. So there's another thing. People always think it's just about beauty. Kunema deadlines, which means by certain stages you have to have raised certain amounts of money. For instance, on the 31st, we had to have raised 5,000, which is one of the things I've been saying. It's a challenge with this COVID, but God is good. We were able to raise that. So now we're working on to the next stage. So you have to do a lot of fundraising. You have to be doing a lot of charity work, which is something that I feel I've been doing. Now it's going to be seen. It's going to be, okay, what are you doing? You say you want to represent your country. Exactly what is it that you're doing for your country? Because it's like high.
Zam, I think you being a fitness instructor, kuhambisana njani kuba Mrs. Africa in the Mrs. Africa chain? How relevance in the two? I think that's where maybe clarity would then say that there it is. How does it go together?
So for me, like Nisho, I knew about this pageant for a while. I felt I wasn't ready because I feel you need to build yourself up. I've been able to build myself up steadily, my confidence. Fitness gives you that confidence to know who you are. The experiences that you go through, we are funza my capabilities. I wasn't aware that I can actually push beyond this. That usually takes you through to your personal life. So once you know what you're capable of, you can stand in front of people, you can speak on your experiences, you can empower other people, and you can motivate other people. So you know what, as women, we can achieve a lot, and it's our time manje. We've been told sibancane ukuthi umfati indzawo yakhe kusekitchen akakhulumi. You are strong, you can do anything once you set your mind
what are we
on
working
something.
on there now?
Right now, that's just pure strength. And I love to feel powerful with my workouts, so I definitely don't mind getting down and dirty when I need to. All
right. So you're working on something. Now, I think still on the Mrs. Africa journey, Emaswati would want to support you. I think there's a page. You tell us how they can vote for you. I think countries are voting for the representative. So Emaswati have to vote for you under the category of Mrs. Africa journey. So tell us how we can vote for you. Anyone who want to vote for you.
Okay.
If there's anything that is required, mention it financially or anything, mention everything, because you are no more representing yourself, you are representing a country. I think this page is relevant. It's relevant. It says Mrs. Africa finalist, and then there's your name. The code.
So there's my code there. There's Mrs. 14.
Yes.
So if you're in South Africa, you're able to SMS it to the number 47018. And if Ula Eswatini, because obviously we can't SMS, you can mobile money to the number below, which is 76702959. And each vote costs 2 emalangeni.
2 rand.
And you can vote as many times as you want. It doesn't have to be only once.
Wow. So the moment you just tell yourself you want to vote for some, you can vote as, you can just put hundreds. That's
so up until November, that's when the pageant will be happening. It's open voting lines, or you can vote right through.
Okay. So siyavotela ke Zama. Emaswati siyavotela. Uya win. The feeling and number of objectives. If you are to win, I would say the finals are in November. Where?
We're going to be hosted in Joburg.
So as a city, yes, we have trust in you, prayers and everything. You win. What's the next stage?
Well, the next stage, 2021, is going to be, you catapulted into a larger stage. You can actually go and represent the African continent in international pageants. So I think lana kuphela. But akufaka in a pageant internationally, lababona ukuthi okay, wena your strength is ngiyabekisa fitness and maybe kukhuluma. So they'll put you in, say, something in tourism. So you're going to go and represent not only your country, but the whole of Africa. Now you're on a world global stage. There's different titles in our corner. You carry on working. You will be guided by the pageant director's CEO, which is Caroline Baldwin. She's in charge of everything. So they guide you. You no longer, we have codes, how we must work. We have regulations, how we must do things. So your whole life changes. Also see just Zama Potgieter. You are now seen as an ambassador.
All right. I think the biggest message that you're putting out there to women is to say, wake up, you can do this. Now, I think when you look at internationally, there's what you call SDGs, there's Sustainable Development Goals. They also touch on women empowerment. So there's a young lady who's sitting there at home watching and say, one day it could be me. Starting with fitness and end up maybe also representing the country. What would be the message for her or for them?
Don't give up. A lot of the times, Udo, you won't believe in yourself. You'll be discouraged. The important thing is to keep going. There are people that are always going to be there to support you. Not everybody, and that's fine. You only need those few good people that have your back, that will encourage you each time and be able to uplift you up. Don't give up on your dreams. Ever.
Wow. There you have it. Now, on the professional aspect in terms of sports, fitness, one who wants to join your gym, when, of course, gyms are open, where can they find you, and how do you, how are you available in terms of when do you open and where's the location?
So we are based in Manzini, Ele. We are 4 kilometers out of CBD, Manzini. You can call, you can come through anytime. We really just, you can start mid-month. We have sessions 3 times a day. We have our morning sessions, which is at 5. We have the 8 a.m. and we have the evening classes 5:30. So anytime, as long as you're a woman, as long as you're female, you can come through.
There you have it. Now, I think before we came in the studio, you wanted just to give a shout out to someone, especially pertaining to the dress code that you have today.
So one of the things that I always love to do is support women that are working and doing great things. As you can see, I'm wearing this beautiful headgear, which was made by Symphony.
Symphony, the artist. Yes.
The artist, the award-winning artist. And these are the type of things that I love to see and I'm very impressed by, because as a young woman, she's out there, she's doing well in her music, she's hustling beyond. Another thing I'd like to say to women, don't ever be embarrassed by your hustle. Because it's and people always tell you, oh, you shouldn't be doing that's beneath your girl. If you need to go and do extra work somewhere, that's okay.
Wow. There you have it. And of course, using sport as one routine to empower women out there. Thank you very much, Zama, for being here. And I think before you maybe go outside there in Joburg sometimes in November, prior to that, maybe we'll get another time for you to be here and say, let's maybe get an update to how have you been planning and then getting ready and all the details pertaining to your journey. And I think Maswati Baboni that also that you need support in terms of votes. And I think that's one thing that they would do. Your part has been done, then they need to play a part. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
There you have it. There is one of the sports fitness in the country, Zama Potgieter, who's talking about how the journey of being a fitness instructor can lead you to something. However, she's using that as one way to empower women, to tell them that there is nothing that can stop you from achieving what you want. She's currently representing the Kingdom of Eswatini in the Mrs. Africa journey, and the finals are going to be in November this year, sometime this year, of course, and she would need our support as the Kingdom of Eswatini. And of course, the numbers have been put there, the code has been put there. I was hearing some people actually saying that number 14 is a lucky number, so it could be maybe also her lucky day. Let's say it's going to be a lovely journey. Short break, and when we come back, Linda Dlamini will be in the studio, of course, to touch on these and those type of things that are making headlines in the Kingdom of Eswatini. This.
Litiko letempilo kwesixwayisile ke ngesifo lesivelile kulamalanga i-coronavirus COVID-19
bagcizelela kakhulu ukuhlandeka kwetandla lokumcoka ukuthi itandla digezwe nawugeza tandla ke bashilo ukuthi digeze lokunenani ama seconds lam20 ngemandi lagijimako lanesipho lokunye ke labasixwayise ngawo ukuthi latingalweni lingahlala leligciwane uthi ngakuthi letingalo nato utiwashe ungashintshe itandla kuphela for 20 seconds nalamkhathi sinetandla ugeze nakhona litawufa ligciwane kanjalo ngiyacela ma loyal viewers geza intandla nihlale ekhaya nihlale niphephile stayinqobe COVID-19.
Now, from the moment it was announced that there will be no sporting activities due to the ongoing COVID-19, we all felt that. But imagine how much work you can do in your house just using your chair. It could be anything you have in your house. Take a look at this. From my own chair, I'm able to exercise 30 minutes per day, from biceps to triceps to my abs. But what are you waiting for? It is doable, it is possible. I'm able to do all the work. No matter how much time it will take me, I will stay active. Now, if you're a soccer player, an athlete, a gym instructor, anyone who loves exercising, use this time. It is doable in the house, in your own time. Stay safe. Together, we'll win this war.
Imidlalo yonke imisiwe eveni. Hlala ekhaya utivikele kulesifo iCovid-19. Lokumcoka ukuthi uhlale ekhaya. Sitawudlala imidlalo uhulumende sekazivumela.
Kulesikhathi lapho khona umhlaba ula nemkhuhlane iCoronavirus, uhulumende kwakuleli ucele wona eMaswati ukuthi akahlale ekhaya alandele imihiso nemihambo yenhlangano yomhlaba emhlabeni. Kanike ngabe mbukeli ukuthi ngakala ukuthi uphume uye ekhaya ngoba ke uye emsebentini. Hlala ufake iface mask. Kanike ngabe kubita ukuthi ukhwehlelela emkhonweni. Sitawubonana mbukeli mayibuya tona Temidlalo ngabe sitawulandzela tona tinqumo ta hulumende. Stay home, stay safe.
So lokukhutsatwa kona ke ukuthi hlala ekhaya uhlanzekile ugeze tandla.
Keep fit, stay home.
Ungayi ngaphandle kuyodlala imidlalo.
Hlala ugqoke iface mask.
There you have it, of course, those who are watching us live on YouTube, and of course, welcome. We still live here at Eswatini TV. I'm already in the company of Linda Dlamini to just touch on the ins and outs of local sports internationally and anything that is making headlines internationally. Kumugere Dlamini, Sibalo.
Sibalo ngiyakuvusela ngiyathemba uyaphila ngikuthoba lokhulu Fabrice ngivusele ma loyal viewers ngisho uphinze ukuthi kungusa kubala kulibona lelilanga lanamuhla ngiphile.
I mean, we have a lot to talk about, but usugala Zama, usibongo bathi portraita. I think there's a lot we can learn from her, and I think one would say, a lot of people didn't know that she's representing the country in something like this through sport, both in.
Firstly, Fabrice, it's a very difficult surname, Portraita, Zama Portraita.
True.
She's representing Eswatini Mrs. Africa lokuyinvo lenhle kakhulu lengicabanga ukuthi soshilo wathi akusilo Leswati le represent Eswatini kuphela but ngoye kule category yabo Mrs. lo represent Eswatini then lalabanye nolwazi I mean nomvula enzinhle ba representa ngala ka Miss Africa. Ngicabanga ukuthi into lenhle loyo amaswati. In fact Fabrice, I'm disappointed angadi ngathi thina amaswati tinvote bantu sihambela etulu kakhulu than letethu but nje nangihleli ngale nisakhuluma naye Zama ngithole SMS kulomunye uthi no pick up guys besingadi ngendvole kanje but now Eswatini TV Sports so khonile lokuthi avete lokho indvo lenhle vele kumele kwendeke kanjalo Fabrice bantu bafundziseke bantu bathi ukuthi kwendekani naku nyalo Zama yo represent Eswatini naka wina kubeka i-level laseswatini etulu kakhulu.
I mean, wamvakashela najima and I know sitawubuka maybe some of let it from betake in lokubona na umbona physical in terms of the determination yakhe najima ukuthi utitshele ukuthi she wants to use sport fitness as a route ukuthi anga empowerisha bantu besifazane uthini ngale ndzaba le?
Fabrice, every time nawukhuluma naye Zama, every time nawukhuluma naye tokutshela into ekuqala ukubaleka ngediscipline, ukuthi nangabe u-sport person kumele ube discipline, nangabe utshelile ukuthi program yakhe ihamba kanje ube discipline kuyo, unlike wena Fabrice lwasho babhusi ukuthi uyambalekela awusiko discipline. But asikho lapho. But nje Fabrice indlela ikhuluma kakhulu Zama ukuthi nanya umfana nemvombatana losekhaya kumele ukuthi abebede emahloni ngendlela yendawo yonke indlela tshela ukuthi ufuna kuyenda ayindisisa atimisele ngicabanga nje ukuthi Fabrice ungicabanga ukuthi labe babukela abantwana noma batali labe babukela batawuhamba bakhutha abantu babawo ukuthi nangabe khona indlela utshela ukuthi ufuna kuyenda uzowabekisa wathi nangabe ukuthi bhaka uvuka ukuthi bhaka uyothengisa vuka uyobhaka uthengisa Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi kude umile kumele abe nehlazo for a very long time. Fabrice ngihlale ngisho mina ukuthi I'm a village boy la ngichamuka khona mina emanvombatana nawenda sport noma nawenda something kuyayibukakala ngathi itaboo uyabona, but tikhathi setiyashintsha nyalo sekuyadlalwa mina nje la ngichamuka khona sekune league emanvombatana ledlalako ileague ngisho league mina ledlalako uyabona to Legend Love ne volleyball iyadlala, so onke lawo mvana nemvombatana so yabakhuthateka bayakopa kunaba labaphambili.
And of course there's a lot when you have people like Nobuhle Dlamini, you have now Zama, and I think at some point in athletics we had Pumulenzini is also still there making headlines. I think these are the women figures ngasho ukuthi they are making a lot good sports industry. Now moving on, importance of fitness. Now I think what she said ukuthi singabuke ukuthi it's sports, you can't make a lot of good sports, but lokumqhwa kwalo kwale fitness ngokuthi at the end of the day the fitness rating noma kanjani, and at this point in time COVID has been affecting us, but solo uyakhona ukuthi ngikuselela yena.
Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi incumbi yabantu vele babe affected kule COVID because bahlele emakhaya, and nawuhlala emakhaya ngicabanga ukuthi nawuhlala ekhaya ubese sowungena ngumkhuba wekudla kakhulu. Ngicabanga ukuthi ke le discipline ingena lapho ukuthi nangabe uyatwena ukuthi program yakho ihamba ithi udla naku uzama uyakwenda lokho every time umkhanza le gym yakhe uyajima noma ngabe kuthiwa bancane labakhona uyajima wenda yonke le ndvo leyo ngile discipline lesikhuluma ngayo. Ngicabanga nje ukuthi nyalo bekuyithuba lelikahle ukuthi incumbi yabantu bangayimi 17 bebasemakhaya la leso space anyana sakho lesikhona sibonile ama exercise akhe Zama incumbi yawo uphatha situlo awushayela ama exercise lehlukene uthatha situlo ushaya ama exercise lehlukene uthatha lithayile lesigulumba incumbi emakhaya anadu mathayi isigulumba uyajima ngaleyo ndlela leyo Fabrice.
They have it, of course. Dlamini in the studio giving us the best when it comes to sporting fraternity. Dlamini, now countries ngasho ukuthi nathi as a country we some of the things are being eased in terms of lockdown, but nasesikhuluma ngeTemidlalo Dlamini ngasho ukuthi we still maybe to look at ukuthi stawuma kanjani if we are to call the games. Now buka South Africa mostly we've got athletes who are based in the Republic of South Africa. I mentioned Nobuhle, there's the likes of Bopumela, all these things. Because these guys are doing their job professionally. It's once again open for business. It does add to their performance.
Fabrice, South Africa babe sebavula lokuthi ema-professional athletes la kude khona la kungasikho khona ama-contact sport sikhuluma nge-sport lesi njengabo Galuva abo the likes of Nobuhle siyamathi she's a professional golfer Pennington, so uhambile use-South Africa uhlala khona. Ngicabanga ukuthi bona bangaqala nyalo badlala because government wakhona sovumile Phumlile naye ube based eSouth Africa ePitoli. Ngicabanga ukuthi onke lawo ma-sport lawo because bashilo njengoba sengishilo ukuthi akusila ama-sports letawufana nebhola kuthi mhlambe siyathinzana yini iGaluva bayadlala babodwa days German Pennington nayo se-South Africa. Bonke labo sebavumelekile lo sebangaqala bawendela ama-sports sebangaqala babuyele ingudla leTemidlalo bajime batilungiselela.
But okay, maybe we're still touching on that, but bringing the aspect locally, I mean kunewari. Because for us, singakhuluma kakhulu ukuthi simele kuva ukuthi what are the sports that will be given a green light to come back and play. There is still a worry, because to say if there is medical teaming everywhere, as a starting example, a-ball, for instance, there's football. Now there's an issue of to say if football is going to come soon, probably the end of July or anything. Must-haves. And all those things, do we have that capacity in terms of football fraternity? Because one of the sources I was talking to earlier on, uthi 700 wabadlali kudze ukuthi batestwe before kuqala the season again 700 wabadlali. And then how do we ensure that procedures are going smooth? I'm sure Vira would see first there is the first week of training, second all those procedures. So how do we run the situation smoothly?
Inhlahla lesina Fabrice lenkulu kakhulu ukuthi na ukhuluma nge-FA inhlahla lesina ukuthi imali ya FIFA ikhona yekulwa neCovid ngicabanga ukuthi tonke letinto letifanele titawuthengwa but kuma sports lamanye la ukhuluma ngabo golf bangabuyela igolf because nayo ayisiyo i-contact sport sibonile bake badlala embabane sabade ama cases mhlambe la leswevako engonyeni bebadlala ngicabanga ukuthi lawo ma sports lo ema athletics ngicabanga ukuthi nawo angabuya because ema national champs bekasenga banjwa la kangwane tonke letinto leto ngicabanga ukuthi if tingabuya uncane la kaphadamiseka khona cause ama athletes siyawathi ukuthi ugijimela inini lakho ngigijimela inini lami nawe ecela yo high jump uca uwedwa anibe abaningi tonke letinto leto nathi ngabukedwa okhuluma nge-tennis ingabuya i-tennis bebane league yabo le sponsored ngicabanga ukuthi even ne sponsor sabo singajabula i-league ye-tennis
ingabuya. This is bowling, yes.
Bowling ma sports la kanjeni ukhuluma bowling i sports lapho khona umuva batawuchelelana nabemile njengami nawe ngicabanga ukuthi kude inkinga lapho lama sports lawo angabuya.
Now there is a list that has been submitted to Eswatini National Sport Council where there are different sporting codes. I think some of the sporting codes you're mentioning, your golf, your tennis, your swimming, have been there. Do you think, not to say Dlamini now you're going against government, but in your opinion, do you think they should be given a green light to open right now to say you can carry on as long as you are following the procedures to say you are not a problem to the pandemic?
If bengi sports council bengathi onke lama associations lafuna ukuthi abuye lasibona bangabuya ababhale pass ukuthi batawuhamba debate ngoni letawenda ukuthi badlali baleso sports babe safe. If iphasisa isports recreation ukuthi babona lo sekuhlobile kwaloko then bahamba bawubona stage 1 walapho labathi departmenta if kuloko bakhona ukuthi bakwenda bo stage 1 stage 2 stage 3 then bangabanika i-green light bachubeke badlale.
But there's also another issue to say, if you look at now, those are the sporting codes that rely on funds. When to say if there's a competition, whenever there's a situation, they have to get funds. Now you've got another type of sporting code where they rely on fans. There's an issue currently overseas where now they have to look at how they can play with that fence. Can we play with that fence, Master? Can we play as a country with that fence? Do you see a game at Somploro with that? Do you see a Mbawane Derby with that fence at Somploro?
Ilkun kakhulu Fabrice because nawubuka ukuthi usikhuluma ngema teams ukhuluma ngale big 3 noma big 4 Morning Pirates yasise ya deserve ukuthi ibitwe as i big 4 part of i big 4 lengicabanga ukuthi onke lawo ma teams lawo arilaya kakhulu kuma fans bakhona kholela abadlali bakhona kuthenga kudla kwabadlali bakhona ukuthi i transport iphume kulama fans then now tawuthona lama games awabuyele without ama fans ngicabanga ukuthi kumele kube nendlela yokuthi lama teams nangabe beka khona kwakha 120 ngenyanga uyabona wena at least uba compensate nga 90,000 ngicabanga ukuthi ngaleyo ndlela leyo ingakhona ukuthi survive ama teams.
I think it's not a secret when you talk about these big 3 teams and these big 4 and we all understand if there's someone who is watching who's been to some floor bayathi ukuthi Highland ehlala kuphi if you are a Highlander fan futhi wathi ngcono Highlanders there is a guarantee ukuthi Master ingangunika 300 wema fans noma igame yipi 300 at least it's a guarantee. Swallows it can give you 250 Wanderers can give you 200 to 250 Morelli Pirate can give you 150 to 200 somewhere there. These are the big 4 you mentioning. So sithi nike kurama teams la inyaro ukuthi angene groundini kuthi balanzele if on a game like this like Highland and Swallows, whoever host, some floor accommodate 7,000, 5-seated. On a derby, 4,000 babacon. How do you then secure a situation negaji? Imarita utkamga.
Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi bese ngishiye lo ecala ukuthi lama teams vela angaba affected but siyathi ukuthi lama teams lawo lo khuluma ngawo anama fans la loyal just like ama loyal viewers Eswatini TV uyabona.
Yes, these are the Pirates fans. Yes,
every game utabathola baye gamini. Lengicabanga ukuthi mine if ngeke ngasho before ngathi ukuthi ngakuthi iPremier League of Eswatini ibuye ku national broadcaster ithi sicela nisakadele nama games ethu sitanika na imali naye uyabona. Then ema fans cause afuna kuhlangabethe ama teams awo angithi athi thina mina ngiyibukela ibhola Eswatini TV le mali bengayibhadala kuya Somhlolo uyabona bengitawugibela ka Somhlolo bengitawuthenga lithikithi kuya Somhlolo lokusho ukuthi 70 rand mabomu 70 emalangeni mabomu ngamthatha ngimfake account ye team ngaleyo ndlela leyo I team if about 3000 wema fans aleyo team nge weekend akhokha labo 70 emalangeni uyabona 3000 times 70 emalangeni ya survive team.
Now master ngiyakuva lapho, but then there's other teams. There's Tinos, there is Marandi Chiefs, there is Mhlume Peacemakers, there's Pick Black Swallows, and we know that there is allocation funds that ngabe kuqhamuka ku FA iya ku ka Football Association sithini ngala ma teams la because asikhuluma nge M10 Premier League asikhuluma ngathi Big Four kuphela because the Big Four won't remain alone. We talk about the entire 12 to 14 teams sithini ngala ma teams.
Fabrice njoba ngishilo kucela ukuthi if tawuphuma imali letside from iPremier League noma FA iya kulama teams angibekise nge5000 iyaphuma iya kulama teams but I mistake yakho ke Fabrice uyi team ukuthi wena kwakhona kuhamba uyomarket kulama teams kulama fans kuthi akhokhe leyo mali leyo ekhikhini bafake account yakho seyinzaba yakho leyo but leyo mali encane loyitholile ka FA iFA tasi iboostile but lawa lesikhuluma ukuthi ane follow ane balandzeli incumbi but awu survivor if labalandzeli batawukhona ukuthi babe loyal njengoba bahlale ba loyal ema teaming up.
I saw the teams in one of the local print media saying we are broke. I think teams were saying they are broke. What role can be played by Premier League noma FA? Do they need to get something?
They are broke. But angathi lo broke ukuthi uqhamuka because most of my teams bekanga
training. You believe they are broke?
A training allowance bekude, traveling godlala ama friendly games bekude, incumbi yobadlali bebangekho clubhouse. Angathi lo broke ukuthi ubuya mhlambe ku rent ema clubhouse ukubhadala abadlali leyo mali encane mhlambe iqhamuka lapho.
Okay. Now, there you have it. Of course, when you talk about football activities in the country, this is one subject. I know, Dlamini, you also have more information to give us on Thursday on Libore Eswatini. Now, moving on internationally, Dlamini. Now, when you look at, in terms of money, we look at now some of the biggest and richest top athletes. When you talk athletes, we're saying all sporting codes together. There's your swimming, there's your tennis, there's everything. Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, they are not on the top list. Okay, they are in the top list, but they are not number one.
I hope one of my neighbors is watching. He almost killed me the other day. Ngimtshela ukuthi ilist ihamba kanjani. Ma richest players athletes emhlabeni. Number one, the GOAT.
How so?
Kuneng Fabrice kuba nema sponsors kube nama nemholo.
But the Forbes, because we need also to look at the time. I know Federer's blue chip and all the information that is there. I know there is a specific period they have to look at. Do we say now maybe because football has not been active since March to now June, that has affected Cristiano and Messi and Zlatan Ibrahimovic not to be number ones?
Affected, but tennis be solo ingadlala.
Yes, so then what
because umholo wabo babasolo bahola ima sponsorships bakasolo akona so angiboni ukuthi but njoba ngisho ukuthi Roger Federer number 1 ilist iphumile kuleli viki leli number 1 uyalida lapha but number 2 wakhona lapho nguye Cristiano Ronaldo lo number 2 bese kuthi number 3 ulandzelwa nguye Lionel Messi, highest paid athletes.
The highest, it's a big thing because if you look at these 4 people, 3 people are coming from football. usho ukuthini in terms of football?
No, football is the richest sport. More especially ngale nge-share because now buka number 5 wakhona LeBron James udlala ibasket landzele lo mdlalo webasketball lengicaba ukuthi
Tiger Woods of course being in the list.
Bonke labadlali labo Fabrice ku-basketball about 3 kulo top 10 bese golf bese kubukuta American football.
Yes.
Bonke labo Fabrice bakhombisa ukuthi le sport is rich kanganani. There is the Gypsy King Tyson Fury umshayi wesibhakela naye ukhona kule list. Lewis Hamilton Formula 1 ukhona kule list bese kuba na the notorious one Conor McGregor lo dlala UFC naye ukhona kule list. Incumi Fabrice incumi kakhulu labadlali laba rich but nje like the top dogs ngibo lese ngibabalile bo Roger Federer, bo Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua naye ukhona lapha ukhona kule list.
The sponsorship must, I think there is also a role that it plays in ensuring that we have. I think the easiest example that you can give us is to say there's a sponsorship, maybe your Nike. It gives you 5 years guarantee to say we'll give you this much money. So that applies with the package of being one of the biggest paid people.
Yes, the biggest and of course the highest paid athlete. Roger Federer, who has been the best endorsement portfolio in the sport. Yabona tonke letinvo leto ukhuluma ngema endorsement ukhulume nje ngoba ngishilo yena nje usponsorishwa iNike yena Roger Federer. So ngicabanga ukuthi Adidas ukhuluma ngabo masterclass ukhuluma ngato tonke letinvo leto ma sponsors lawa lakhetha ema athletes labona ukuthi atawumarketeka ibrand yabo kulawo ma athletes.
There you have it, and of course we will of course get more information, maybe also cut down to the country, to the kingdom of Eswatini to say who is our top end athlete, you know, because you look at your swimming, you look at your athletics, you look at your football. We should do that sometime.
But the last time I checked bekuyibhola Fabrice because siyade vele ukuthi la khaya cishe kusesengiyo le bhola le cishe ngathi inakeka kakhulu and badlali labanye bahola boma 15,000 it's not bad.
Ngakuba masuthi akusikahle kuvethe umholo yabantu.
No, akusiko, that's why ngeke ngisho ukuthi this player uhola le mali lena siyade ukuthi sensitive kangakanani.
Who is the richest player local?
No. Angeke kulunge usho igama lemuntu.
Which club that gets to get paid better players than other clubs? There you have it. Now, let's go on Jadon Sancho, one of the youngest talented English players. I think this is a question that mostly English fans are asking themselves to say, what is remaining for this young kid to come play in the English Premiership? A hat-trick when his team was playing Dortmund.
Can I say this, Fabrice? I know labaneng but that's exaggerate. But Sancho, for me, if angachubeka ngale ndlela le, he'll be the best English player to ever play overseas. Because siyathi ukuthi udlala eGermany. Ukorileke ngeweekend wakora i-hat-trick. Siyamathi ukuthi uneltalent elingana udlalela yona iBorussia Dortmund. Udlala nabo Haaland. Bekangekho ke Haaland walimala akakore kule game le. Walimala waphuma kwi-game ya last weekend. So naka celebrate ke Sancho na ashayile hat-trick yakhe i-celebration yakhe beyikhuluma nga George Floyd wase America nami I'll join the rest of the world ngithi may his soul rest in peace yena George Floyd lo shonile etandleni temaphoyisa ase States. But nje what a talent yena Sancho langi nangikhuluma nge-overseas player ke Fabrice.
It's probably 20 now, 1920, it's 20 years.
It's 20 this year. Labaneng batathi njengoba ngisho ngiya-exaggerate. Inqumbi yama-English players abengadlali ngcono nangaphandle waseNgilandi. Michael Owen waya Madrid but akadlalanga kahle. Beckham waya Madrid wajoina the Galacticos wangadlali kahle wagcina aye ku-AC Milan wagcina aye States. Yes, being i-brand lesetulu kakhulu umnyaka acabanga ukuthi nginimanga but this kid ngiyakutshela nginike 2 years utabe akhe ma headlines.
He's on the list. Most teams want him. Your Manchester United.
Manchester United
Do you think he should move?
ngicabanga ukuthi
There's money, most. There's everything. They want him home.
Yeah, kwenyalo la khona eGermany udlala kahle because nawubuka le team eDortmund la ngendlela labayakha ngayo le bakha i-team Fabrice lengisho ukuthi i-strong shilo ngabala nabo Haaland naye Sancho ngicabanga nje ukuthi at the moment asikahlali umnyaka or maybe 2 because utakuya Manchester United isenga khuphuke kufika kulesigaba la ishiya khona seAlex Ferguson.
Uhlukene njani na Sterling with Manchester City because we talk about speed, we talk about coming from the right. When you look at the two of them, what's the difference? Because Sterling can also maybe go to Barcelona, become one who could. What differentiates the two players?
Sancho is cishe yena uyakora na Sterling but hayi kakhulu but Sancho ngicabanga ukuthi almost every game utamkhanza lapha akhona among ama scorers ngicabanga ukuthi yena is more of a finisher than a winger kanti Sterling is naturally siyamathi ukuthi uyiwinger.
Wow, this kid of course has been a wonder when you look at some of the goals. This is over the weekend. And I think I know you're watching the game, what was the feeling, Dlamini, with that fence? You know, he scores that goal and then he has to celebrate, you know,
in
with
fact,
the players.
Rafaela labeka jaja le game lena Fabrice ushilo ukuthi cause umbhukile ukhokhela jezi yena Sancho wambhuka Rafaela washo wathi bekungasiso sifiso sakhe ukuthi ambhuke ukuze uyaunderstand ukuthi le message bekayibhalile la kuye beyithini but bekumele alandzele umthetho wa FIFA ukuthi umdlali nakakhumula jezi celebrate umnika i-yellow card but kube bekiya ngaye bekangeka zambhuka.
Because the sign was a kind gesture. And of course, this is the wonder kid that is making headlines in the German Bundesliga. Now, when you talk about English league, maybe to touch on before we move to the next point, there's an issue now to say, the issue we're talking about locally, you know, playing without fans. How do you see the English Premiership? Watching a game at Anfield with that supporters.
Kulela kakhulu eNgilandi Fabrice bangadlala bona without my fans because already kunama TV rights billions etimali tikhulunywa kulapha lengicabanga ukuthi bangadlala but invole kumele ukuthi bayichikelele kakhulu ke Fabrice kudinga ukuthi bakhethe at least 4 or 6 wema stadiums la kungadlalwa khona ikhona iWembley eLondon ikhona iEmirates ikhona iTottenham Stadium bese kuba neManchester bese kuba neAnfield if lawo ma stadiums lawo kungakhethwa wona ukuthi kudlalwe le league lama teams angataba nalama travelings kakhulu kuyathi ukuthi now na 6 wema stadiums ku 20 teams at least lapho la remaining games asangadlalwa.
And the issue maybe to say teams also feel like the relegation should be stopped. Some of the teams, especially those in the bottom half, you talk about your Sheffield, you know all those teams in Wednesday, all this team in the bottom half. What do you think? Should these changes affect them? Because I think this is a country where we knew no matter what the situation, the league had to be finished because we know how people follow this league.
Hey Fabrice ubali Sheffield Wednesday ingetulu ngisho kune Arsenal. This season they've been in fact the first season yabo ku Premier League but ngicabanga ukuthi
I think Southampton is also coming up. This season coming up.
But my teams langa
Norwich,
yes la ngendi kahle yena Eddie Howe siyamathi ukuthi sona isikhathi kuBournemouth but abakendi kahle lecaba ukuthi ngaba early kakhulu kube sesuyajaka ukuthi le ma teams abe relegated bangaqedzi lama games lawo siyathi ukuthi English Premier League iba mnanzi kakhulu nasekusele boma 6 games lapho khona lengentasi sobalekela inkemba nalo lwengetulo solela ukuthi angene ku top 4 noma ku top 6 atongena ku Europa League.
And of course, the league is expected to resume at some point in June, 17th of June. That's the point. Beautiful picture. What are we looking at?
Liverpool lena Fabrice ikhanselile i-training yayo inamuhla bangajimi bafuna honorisha yena George Floyd wase America siyakhumbula ukuthi George Floyd ushone mhlambe labanengi labangade ukuthi ushonile black man from America loshone emaphoyiseni abeka presse ngaleli dvolo ke Fabrice lanzanyeni nawubona nje labadlali lokuthi baguqe ngaleli dvolo bazama kuhlonipha yena George Floyd wase America lokuyinvo lenhle Fabrice sithemba ukuthi incumbela ama teams in fact bafuna yona ijustice yakhe yena George Floyd naye Jadon Sancho njoba sengishilo ngathi iskipper sakhe labeka sifakela ngaphasi uvetile ke wathi justice for George Floyd incumbi ema athletes Fabrice ukhuluma ngabo tennis bona bo Roger Federer bebakhuluma ngayo lenzaba le nabo badlali bo Ronaldo bo Ibrahimovic bebakhuluma ngayo lemva ukuthi justice for George Floyd nami ngisho njalo ngithi justice for George Floyd.
Justice for George Floyd, but it's not a new issue, especially in the sport industry. I mean, you look at internationally, you look at also in some part of the Africa. How is this affecting, especially football? And you look at where we know football, European-wise, we have majority of maybe black, footballers or black athletes facing this situation.
You remember Fabrice ukuthi even bo Serena Williams bake badibana nayo le nginga lena but bakhona lo sibabuye babe strong. Babuye bawine baprove egroundini. I remember one story lesa sikhulunywa ngeJJ Okocha nakafika eGermany ukuthi wa abuse kanjani ku racism siyathi eGermany ukuthi bese dulu kanganani involation ngomveni uthina bekafuna ukuba prove egroundini abagcilate egroundini obagcilate vele wathatha ibhola ecenter wa dribbler wonke umuntu wa dribbler even Oliver Kahn bebadlala neBayern Munich against Bayern Munich wakora lelo goal lelo wathi nabambuta ukuthi why wase I'm trying to punish you ngiyanikhombisa ukuthi siyalingana sonke nami ngingumuntu so ngicabanga ukuthi tonke leti involved Samuel Eto'o eSpain siyamkhumbula naye wafuna kuphuma egroundini Ronaldinho wazama kumbamba incumbi yabadlali bo Dani Alves Mario Balotelli Romelu Lukaku ngababala ngitsini Fabrice Paul Pogba bonke labadlali labo babe affected due to racism na Sterling naye waseNgilandi naye be affected kulenzaba le lekungasiyo inhle Fabrice because asibandvu sonke ngicabanga ukuthi wonke umuntu emhlabeni akamele abe ne right etulu kwalomunye.
Do you think maybe at some point as we keep on of course watching this kind gesture derby that was displayed by Liverpool players as they cancel their training session, of course live at Anfield, not the picture that is live but the training session was set to held at Anfield. Does it have to do the aspect with the fact that maybe they are becoming successful, then they have to be facing that? Because I think in most cases it's being faced by people who are already successful in the sport industry.
Liverpool ba leader Fabrice kulokho ngicabanga ukuthi at the moment currently they are the best team in Europe if not the world because ba defending champions UEFA Champions League ba leader ku English Premier League nawubuka lelokho so ngicabanga ukuthi vele kumele ba leader by example tonke tinfo batende kuqala ba team yeqala eNgilandi kwenda lokho ngiyethemba ukuthi nalamanye atawulandzela siyabonga nje ku manager wabo yona wase Germany Jochen Klopp kuze ukuthi kusekela because bekuyi hashtag justice for George Floyd bese kuthiwa hashtag Black Lives Matter ngicabanga ukuthi leso statement leso sisho lokukhulu kakhulu Fabrice for me as a black man, for me as a human being nami nginayi right so ngicabanga ukuthi every player, every athlete emhlabeni uyakudeserve lo.
There have it. And of course touching on Liverpool as we close, they need 2 games to be crowned champions, actually 6 points. How do you think it will be a situation? Let's say the games, they're being broadcasted and everything. Do you think the fans can hold themselves quickly in 30 seconds as we leave?
Yeah, ngibona ama fans e Liverpool since 1990 Fabrice solo bamile kubona i-team yabo wina i-English Premier League. The last time ba wina le league beyicoachwa nguKenny Dalglish ngicabanga ukuthi nayo so tikhulele. So this moment bebasolo bayigatse ngemehlo labo Fabrice angeke bakhona ukuthi bamba but awu celebrate vele but a stadium abafuneke.
Uyajabula yini ukuthi batayithatha?
I'm happy for Liverpool Fabrice, I'm happy.
Hayi ukuthi uyabalandzela.
Kuhlala no angibalandzeli I'm an Arsenal fan.
Okay.
Yes.
It's making a statement you support the Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan Fabrice ngingafihlelani ukuthi ngifavor Arsenal.
All right, yes. There you have it. Flamini, it's always a beautiful thing to be in your company. Thank you very much. See, Clara over next week Monday. We'll see when can sport activities resume.
If possible. Hour Fabrice.
Yes.
Sakijim.
Sports for living, sports for entertainment. Every time is about sports. And thank you very much for being here. Next week Monday, sports.
No Fabrice, anytime we had to tsine nawe siphila ema sports sisenda konke nje ema sports so ngicabanga ukuthi involve lele siphila ngayo sitawubuya siba update.
There have it. Linda Dlamini, of course, giving us a roundup of what's happening locally and internationally. Of course, as we kicked up this show, we touched on some of the things that women can learn from a woman like Zama Pitrat, who was actually highlighting that she's being one of the country's women to represent the country in Mrs. Africa journey, and she's using sports as an industry to empower that. Later on, of course, Dlamini came in and we touched on different ins and outs of the local fraternity. Until now, we're still waiting to hear when can sporting activity resume as we wait for the season to end, different, into local tournaments to carry on. Otherwise, the Sport Council hasn't released to when can some of the sporting codes that are not a problem to the pandemic can be, gain back their momentum in the field of play. And of course, different athletes have been putting their suggestions. Earlier on, we heard from Smangat, of course, touching on that suggestion that he wants to train again. Otherwise, for the entire production, it was a beautiful moment being with you. And of course, for those who are watching on YouTube platform, of course, being our special, subscriber, be there every time, every Monday, same time, same place. And of course, for those who missed the program live on Eswatini TV, there's always a repeat the next day from 8 in the morning up to night. Otherwise, for us, me, Fabrice Msola, and the entire crew, Silvera Gamnansi.